I pressed the wrong button, so it didn't automatically switch from the theme song to the show. But here we are, we're back.
We're back.
Woo! Hey there, hi there, ho there, everybody. It's another episode of DrawBomb. It's the show where you listen to two guys bitch about fucking movies for
Beetlejuice 2.
Yeah. Where Ian talks about Beetlejuice 2 being like the worst thing he's ever seen in his life.
The worst thing that's ever happened to him.
That's right. Especially in the last few weeks, it is nothing worse has happened to me than Beetlejuice 2, the trailer, having a slowed down or a dramatic version of Banana Boat.
Right.
Certainly
Bad
not.
as it gets.
That's as bad as it gets. What a semi-charmed kind of life I live, if that would be the case. Anyways, Brandon, how have you been these last few weeks?
I've been pretty good. Just doing the same old.
Hey. Oh, Lotus Clock got hit with an ad. Oh no. We're so sorry, Lotus Clock.
Dang it.
What an unfortunate time for that. That would be a great time to tell you to subscribe to our channel with the Amazon Prime Plus or just with the regular $5 subscription. You don't get any ads and you support the channel.
You can avoid those ads.
Oh yeah, that's right. You don't gotta get your content blocked by those tampon ads anymore. You got your DrawBomb 24/7, 8 at a time, all the time. That's right.
Wow.
Excuse me.
You almost got it down.
I'm getting the hang. I mean, look, Twitch. All I'm saying is you guys lose enough money. Just spend a little bit more and hire me, you know? I could fix your bikes. I could say that.
You could help them lose more money.
That's right. I mean, I'm not making anybody any money anywhere, so.
You work at a bike shop. You're making bike shop place money.
No. We are very much a struggling bike shop, but that's a-okay. It'll be fine.
It's
I hope.
It's the wrong time of year.
It has been. The winter time is always a bit of a struggle. No, Lotus Clock, we have not moved on from Beetlejuice 2. We respectfully abstained because you were locked in the adpocalypse. Welcome back to the show.
Yeah. We wanted to talk about it, but we stopped. Man, because we didn't want you to miss that.
It's crazy that Beetlejuice 2 killed OJ. Isn't that wild to you? Like, they killed OJ.
Is that what killed him?
I mean, they
I thought
say
it was pancreatic cancer.
Well, they said the juice is loose, and not even a month later, OJ dies. I'm sorry, but Beetlejuice killed OJ. You know, it's clear.
Well, allegedly.
Yeah. We can't actually. If he did it, Beetlejuice.
I think Beetlejuice was acquitted. I don't.
Beetlejuice would have cut his head off with a knife. I don't know. Anyways.
Yeah, what can you do?
Yeah, what could you do? Anyways.
Lotus Clock says they should have rebooted the cartoon instead. Agreed.
I do agree, actually.
Would be pretty cool.
Yeah, I watched the cartoon as a child, and I remember enjoying it. I mean, also I had no frame of reference as a kid, so.
Yeah, making a show that kids will enjoy that takes something. It's not a sure thing.
That's true. Kids, look, you think kids will eat anything up. Kids do have discerning... Ooh, excuse me, I'm so sorry, that's the beer. Kids do have discerning tastes. Now, it's not the most refined palate, but a kid knows sometimes when you're yanking their chain. Wait, let me rephrase that. A kid knows when you're shoveling trash onto their plate. Let's move on. Point is, Beetlejuice 2. Why? Enough said, right? I feel like we can.
Yeah, I mean, we had enough said like hours ago.
We had enough said weeks ago, if anything. If anything.
We took last week off because we couldn't think of more Beetlejuice 2 content, but we managed to write some more and we're ready.
That's right, yeah. If Beetlejuice 2 had been provided more fodder for content for us, we totally would have been here. That's what it is.
Been here.
Yeah.
Ian, how are you doing tonight?
Oh, I'm doing
How's
fine.
it going?
I'm living my life. I'm here. How are you doing?
Same, bro.
Whoa.
Oh, I'm still good. Still doing great.
That's right. Have I already asked you that this episode?
You have, but
such
you
a
know,
forgetful friend.
but no, I mean, you were. I don't think you forgot. You were just checking to make sure nothing had changed.
Stupid.
You were just making sure nothing had changed since you first asked, and it hasn't.
True.
Things are still great.
I do tend to shift the mood of the room when I involve myself in the conversation. Sometimes I'll be like, everything's
Well, what else are we
fine.
supposed to talk about? Just Beetlejuice 2? We gotta talk about ourselves from time to time.
I guess we do. What you been up to, Brandon? I mean, I know I just asked you how has things been, but like, have you been? Let's do the.
I'm
let's
very
do
much
the usual
in
thing
my
we do.
like. I'm very much in the. I know we need to like find like a different way to to start our show, because it's like I don't need to reflect on how mundane my existence is every week. You know,
Dude, I was at a Hollywood party with Tom Cruise yesterday. So crazy, like the shit. The
Tom
stories
Cruise
I
was
could tell
so
you.
crazy.
No, I was
Oh.
crazier than Tom Cruise at this party. I tried to get
Whoa,
him into
dude.
a new cult.
I mean, he's probably shopping around for a new one by this point.
Right? I can't imagine. I mean, I don't hear about Scientology anymore. Like, they're not putting out hits on people. They're not really making waves.
Oh
like
no,
they used to be.
they're still doing fucked up shit.
Oh, okay.
What's the lady from, I can't think of her name, Leah something. The lady from King of Queens, she put out this big documentary recently that brought
Yeah, I remember
like, a lot
that.
more attention to it. And then
That
like
was
the
like-
leader, he's like hiding out or something. His like wife has gone missing, and
That
there's
was
some
the
weird shit going
That
on.
was the Going Clear documentary, right?
Yeah, I guess that was like a couple years ago.
That was
now.
a couple years
Or
ago.
maybe more.
Yeah, I feel like
Yeah,
after
you're right.
that,
You're right.
it's kind of. I mean, look, in order to ascend to like level 6, you have to be on a boat. I'm pretty sure that's one of the rules. And I just don't think a lot of people have boats right now. Boats are.
It's
not,
true. You know, the economy. It's hard to own a boat right now.
It is. With all the greedflation going on, jeez.
Yeah, it's
talk
like,
to me when you have a boat.
I had to get rid of my second boat due to Biden's economics.
Like
Bidenomics.
the way he made gas companies raise prices by because of the way he is, you know, like
Yeah. This economy has really gone to shit, but I am at the very least, I'm very happy that all companies
Have made
are
record
having the
profits.
record years.
Yeah,
So
I'm
proud
really
of them.
glad.
Despite this terrible landscape, they've found a way. It's amazing. Good for them.
It's crazy that they raise the prices, they make record profits, and then they also
I was
say,
worried, like,
it's so tough out
Nabisco
there.
I was worried Nabisco or PepsiCo or something might have like a tough year, but no,
Yeah.
they are thriving. Thank
God.
God.
I'm so
Thank
glad line
the Lord
go
above.
up. Yeah. Praise
Line
praise
needs
God
to
for
go up.
line go up. God forbid they ever not fire people in mass or
Well,
just
line can't
keep
go down.
like if or line can't even go up just a little bit. Line has to go up a lot, you know? Line has to go way up. Line can't just go up a little bit. Line can't even stay same. Line has to go up.
No, line
yeah.
can't stay the same. That's bad. Somebody needs to be fired if line stayed the same.
That's 500 to 1,000 people need to be fired if line stays
Yeah.
same.
An entire small town worth of people need to be put out of jobs.
Exactly. And also to get them back in those offices. Am I right? Am I right, fellas?
You know,
Because
we pay rent for this thing, and if nobody's here, I feel stupid.
yeah, exactly. Like they better get back in these offices. So that
Because we have a subway that
yeah.
we have a subway that has rented space in the office, and no one's buying the sandwiches if no one's there. So
The subway can't make the money if
back
the
to
people aren't there, you know? So what if you're fucking
Yeah.
disabled? Go get the fuck back and up those stairs, okay? Jesus Christ. Is it so hard? Christ.
Oh, you moved in the last like 4 years when things have been remote? That's too bad because we
Oh.
need you back here now.
Did we hire you and you're all the way across the country? I'm sorry.
We need you in here.
We need you here now so that this middle management guy named Gary can breathe down your
something
neck.
to do.
Yeah, he needs people to harass.
He's bored. Yeah, why do we have managers if you guys are just doing your jobs effectively?
If everyone's remote, I can't sexually harass anybody. Like, where's the fun in that? Why did I become a boss in the first place? Like, Jesus Christ.
I've smacked 0 asses in the last week, and it's really starting to weigh on me.
A sum total of 0 you can't calling someone toots doesn't ring the same in a Zoom call, you know? Like, I just say
the HR people, they don't have enough to do, you know?
Yeah, Jesus Christ. Anyways. That was quite a tangent we went on there. That's just the
We're just taking turns.
The biting political commentary you can get on DrawBomb Live. That's right. Tune in for the two guys who really don't have any place saying things that are probably true. Yeah. But I mean, I don't know. I work in a fucking bike shop. What the fuck do I know? Anyways, wow, this episode's off to a great start. I think we've hit our stride.
I think so too. We finally figured it out. Yeah.
Let's just become a politics
you work in a bike shop.
Let's talk about... Do you want to talk about... No, I don't even fucking want to talk about shit.
We're going to set ourselves up. You work in a bike shop. I feed the rich, which I think I mixed things up a little bit.
You're supposed to...
I read Eat the Rich somewhere, and I misunderstood. And so now I worked at an expensive restaurant.
You feed the rich. Hey, I mean, that's kind of the same.
Mm-hmm.
Here's the thing.
I'm fattening them up.
If you were to eat the rich, who would give you the meager tips that you get? Actually, you get decent tips. I'm pretty sure, right? Like your tips aren't the worst. I mean, I can't.
You know, everybody's different, but
yeah,
there's good tips. That's what you hope for. But you know, I'm fattening up the rich people. Got to get them nice and plump for when we eat them.
You're like the witch that brings
hog.
Exactly. You're like the witch that brings Hansel and Gretel to the cauldron. You're giving them sweets, so that
I'm feeding them grass-fed beef. So that kind of is like they're like grass-fed beef in a way.
Yeah.
You know,
free range
property.
CEOs.
Exactly. So once the culling begins, they're gonna taste delicious.
Any day now. Any
day.
Oh boy. We're in our bag tonight, I would say.
We
Brandon,
like to have fun here.
We have fun. Okay, Lotus Clock says, talk about a movie that's good, even if that means talking about one that came out like 30 years ago. I can talk about something I've been watching that I enjoy. I don't know about you.
Yeah, let's stop talking about things we hate for every moment, and let's talk about some things we enjoyed.
I think that's good. Brandon, do you have anything you enjoyed that you've been interacting with?
Well, you just said you could. Did you have one lined up or no?
I mean, I do technically, yes, but it's a. So okay, I'll just get right into it.
Yeah, I'll think of one too, but since you have one,
why waste a good segue? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I've been watching this show. So you know, my parents and I basically 7 o'clock to 8 o'clock or later, depending on how my schedule is going, depending on how tired
the wheel
they are.
comes on.
The wheel comes on. We throw a knife at the wheel. We hope we hit the man on the wheel. He screams. We laugh. No. I know what you're talking about, the Wheel of Fortune, but we tend to like sit down and watch some TV shows together, and so it's been a few. Like we've done Frasier, which they loved, and I love Frasier. Not a bad episode of Frasier in existence, in my opinion. Every episode is good. We've been chasing that high. We've watched all of Big Bang Theory, and we did enjoy it. We've watched all of Friends. We've watched all of Ghosts, both the British and the American version. We just recently finished watching Newhart, which was very good. Kind of started out pretty rough, but it got a lot better by like the 4th season, I would say. Maybe the 3rd season. But we just finished Newhart. So, also, I just want to, not to get into the negatives again, weird thing. Every episode of Newhart is on Amazon Prime, except for the very, very last episode of the show.
Huh.
I don't know why.
That's interesting.
I have.
Did you find it somewhere?
It's on YouTube. The whole episode's on YouTube. There's actually a YouTube channel just dedicated to posting entire episodes of Newhart. It's called like New Heartful episodes or something like that.
Okay.
But it's very weird. I have a suspicion as to why they don't have the final episode on there, because you could say the episode is racist, possibly. That
was gonna be my question, because there's definitely things, missing from shows where they did like a racist joke.
They just put the D&D episode of Community back on Peacock, apparently.
That was actually gonna be one of my examples.
Yeah, they finally apparently like got over it, like, because that wasn't a racist episode. The joke was not racism in that, but they did.
Right.
Apparently,
the joke was Chang's an idiot.
Yeah, I haven't confirmed this, but I've just heard somewhere that they did put the D&D episode of Community back on Peacock. Thank God, because it's one of the best episodes in the show, in my opinion.
In similar fashion, there's a handful of It's Always Sunny episodes that have blackface as a joke, and those are gone too. That's kind of what happened in the Community one, except he was doing a dark elf.
Yeah, he wasn't actually doing blackface in Community, or what the fuck am I saying? And It's Always Sunny.
I mean, the joke was like everybody else was cringing, like, "Hey man, you shouldn't be doing that," and he was just trying to do a dark elf.
Yeah, and the joke in the It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia episodes is Dee is doing a very racist character, and all of the characters are saying, "That's really racist," and so I don't know, it's stupid.
Yeah, they're the joke, but still, whatever,
I'm a white guy. I'm not.
I'm not having an opinion of whether it should be on there or not.
Yeah, I will say, I have a friend who is black who loves Tropic Thunder. Who loves our joke about racism in Waterlogged. He was the one who like. I asked him. I like read him our script of the comic before we ever posted it or like drew it, and then like he was like, "That's funny." And then like a week later, I was like, "I don't know, man. I don't know if we're gonna go through it." And he like pointed at me and he was like, "You're gonna do that page. That is such a fucking funny comic. I want you to do it."
He's like, "Now I'm more offended if you don't do it."
Exactly. Yeah. He was like adamant that we do that comic. So I was like, his judgment felt validating, I guess. I don't know. I don't know how he feels about I don't know how he feels about those Community episodes or that Community episode / those episodes of It's Always Sunny. I feel like he wouldn't have a big issue with it, but I can't speak for him. I'm not gonna. He's been on a few episodes.
Nor should you.
Yeah, that would be wrong of me to do that. Also, we have somebody in the clack. The clack. What the fuck? Am I having a stroke right now?
No, that's what we call the chat.
the clack, the lowest, the chat. Gwaz Doink, who, you know who Gwaz Doink is. You know Gwaz Doink.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was our bartender, and he was half of the characters in Dr. Catastrophe. Yeah. DrawBomb, Barack DrawBomb, he says. Lotus Clock says, "What page was that? The Scorpion Box one?" No, it's the page where the grandma is racist. That was the page. I don't know how else to explain it.
Yeah. The old grandma ghost character says some bad things, and then they're like, ugh.
Yeah. And I had another friend, Max, who he was also there when this friend was like, I want you to do that page. That page is so funny. And he was like, it's a hilarious joke because the joke is that the main characters are like they want to get out now because she was racist. Like he kind of
she's an evil character,
Yeah. So I had two people kind of simultaneously vouch.
You got that approval.
Yeah, I mean Max is white, so his opinion only goes so far, but
at least you got some white people saying that we could make that joke.
I'm so glad.
Thanks for getting that done.
Felt so good. Where was I starting? Oh yeah, okay. So the final episode of Newhart is basically like a Japanese businessman buys the town that they all live in, and then like the second half of the episode is like basically one character is dressed up as like a geisha sort of situation, and it's kind of weird, but it's not like it didn't strike me as overly offensive. Again, I'm not the best judge of that shit, but I don't know, it's a fine episode. It didn't strike me as like take it off of Amazon Prime. But that's my suspicion as to why
Was the
every episode...
Japanese businessman actually a Japanese businessman, or was it like
Yes, he
Mickey
was.
Rooney or something? Okay.
No, it was actually a Japanese businessman. He was actually a well-known actor, I think, from the 80s.
Okay, good.
Because
They like to pull that one.
They did like to
back
do
then.
that, yeah. And that I would understand. I'd be like, oh, that's not such a good look. But no,
Mickey Rooney and Breakfast at Tiffany's is like, what the fuck?
That one's real rough. That one's real rough.
Every era there comes along somebody that just like loves doing racist caricatures of other characters, and they do it often. Mickey Rooney was one of those. Rob Schneider is one of those.
Yep. It's
like, usually
a person who can play racially ambiguous, like just like they're still white, but they could maybe they're Armenian. I don't know. It's like I almost feel like Fred Armisen kind of gets away with it a little bit, although I don't know what race Fred Armisen actually is, but he's like
Rob Schneider. They just straight up like he's like the whitest guy there ever was, and they just put him they like straight up put like fake noses on him and like fake teeth, and he's just like the worst. I honestly think most of his like right wing like shit that he all does now is just him trying to justify like everything he's done.
I was about to actually say the same thing.
Don't cancel me for all of my everything I've done.
Don't cancel me for all the racist shit I did. Jeez.
Yeah, every character except for like 2. He was, he you know, one time he was a hot chick, one time he was an animal, and another time he was an Asian person.
Yeah, it's not a great look.
It's crazy. No.
It's definitely like all of the comedy specials where he's like canceled. No, thank you. Is definitely him like overcompensating for sure. Guazdoing says, "Are you talking about me? Did someone say racially ambiguous?" I don't know how to properly respond to that without fucking up. I don't. No, Greg, but we love you and we think you're amazing. Go ahead, Ian. I think I'm allowed to do one racism now because Greg has given me the go ahead. Oh boy, I've been waiting years for this. Oh boy.
The trick is to just bank all those, and then you can use them all at once. You know?
Yeah. I've actually gotten the N-word pass from quite a few people, but I haven't used it because I'm just waiting for a good supply so that I can just.
What, are you saving up for a Kramer? What are you doing?
Yeah, I'm waiting for a rap cameo. You know, where like I'm doing like a feature on a rap song. Cause just you know. Yeesh. Can we move on?
Yes, let's please.
I feel like I've fucked up somewhere. I feel like.
I saw some YouTube video where they were comparing Rob Schneider's. We can move on to from like the right wing, blah blah blah, whatever. But after, they were comparing Rob Schneider's whole like everything he's doing these days to that one special Tim Heidecker did that you and I watched.
Oh my god!
Like, purposely just like the worst.
I felt that actually. I thought that too at the same time. I was like, oh, this feels like the actual like this feels like what Tim Heidecker's making fun of.
Yeah, exactly. And that's true.
Also,
there's so many comedians going down that road now where they're doing the whole like they tried to silence me tour, and it's like,
yeah,
who? I mean, you have more. I've seen more of you now than I did for like the last like 20 years. What are you talking about?
Like, I get it. It's a really easy grift to do. You do some bad shit.
It's easy to be a grifter.
And then a bunch of people rightly call you out for being a piece of shit. And then you go on like Fox News, and you're just like, they're trying to cancel me. Boo!
I guess we can't tell jokes anymore.
What's with the censorship anymore? Anyway, I think we should ban books. And then, you know, then you fucking then you get like 5 comedy specials going like, you can't say this on TV anymore. And it's like you're
and that's also the title of the special.
Yeah, exactly. It's an easy grift to make, so I get it. Like, and the thing is, like, as much as the person doing the grift is at fault, I do think like the Twitter people who like, because like the person could just make the shitty joke, and then you're just like, wow, I'm just not gonna fucking like pay attention to this person anymore. But then you like, there's like all these people who do sort of coalesce and are like, oh, we should be loud and mad about Rob Schneider, and it's like, no, just shut the fuck up about him, or shut up the fuck up about
ignore
like
him.
Ignore Matt Rife.
Into obscurity.
Like Matt Rife made a shitty comedy special. Okay, don't watch it, and then no one will know about it. But like you're amplifying it and giving him that platform to be like, oh, they're canceling me. I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong.
They're trying to get content out of it too. A lot of those people.
That's true. That's also as much as Anyways, also I just want to say this is what Greg has said. Go ahead, Ian. Just be careful about shoving the joke into a place it won't fit. Don't just Jim Crowbar it into any old space. So, thank you, Greg.
Oh boy.
Thank you, Greg, for making the worst joke than I have and making equilibrium. I think in this episode.
We're glad you're here.
Yeah, we are glad you're here. Also, thank you again for doing such an amazing job in both of the movies that we've had you in. You were
killed
awesome.
it.
Did a great job.
The only problem is you did too good that we're gonna keep making you do these things.
Yeah,
you have to call you suffer back. Through our shit.
He says also that he saw the video, either the Tim Heidecker one or the Rob Schneider one. Probably the Tim Heidecker one. Or he saw the one about the guy comparing the Rob Schneider one to the Tim Heidecker thing. He also says, I want to be a grifter, to be honest. Me too. Do you know how many times I've thought, like, I've looked at, like, my bills, and I've been like, fuck. I could just say some racist shit on Twitter right now and then get a cameo on Fox, or, like, get, like, 5 interviews on Fox News right now. It'd be so easy.
Yeah, I mean, if you let your morals go, you can make money not too difficult.
Yeah. Look, it looks so easy. It looks like just shooting fish in a barrel. But damn my fucking sense of my code of ethics, I guess. I don't know.
I'm just too good of a person, you know? I can't do it.
I'm such a good person. I'm so humble, too.
Yeah. Both of those.
Greg says it was a lady comparing the Tim Heidecker bit to the Rob Schneider shit and his goofy Netflix show where he tries to not look 5'3".
Yeah. It's actually a good watch because that Rob Schneider show looks awful. Apparently, it's like fully funded by him.
Oh boy,
he's just like pretty much made it because no one wants it. So he had to like make it like fund the whole thing, produce it.
Jeez,
well, and it's just like it's like Curb Your Enthusiasm, except instead of being like I'm an idiot, here's me being an idiot, like a heightened version. Yeah, it's like I'm great.
Oh boy.
Look at me being funny in life.
Can I ask you a question? Like, do you ever talk to somebody and they're kind of recounting a conversation that they had? But like the point of them kind of recounting this conversation to you, and you've never done this, which is why I think we get along so well, because this really bothers me when people do this, is like, I've had so many people be like, oh, I had this conversation with this person. And then they're basically doing like a play-by-play of this conversation they had, but they're like the right person in the conversation, so it's like they're kind of just like explaining how this conversation happened and why they're right.
Venting about something, or
it's not necessarily venting. It's more like almost bragging. Like, this person was so dumb, and I totally just like owned them with logic in this conversation. Do you know what I mean? Like.
Yeah, I think like a lot of times people will do this thing where they're like, there's some like moment that they have, whether it's them being funny or them winning an argument, or they think they won an argument, and they're just like proud of themselves, but no one else gives a shit, so they have to just like repeat it.
Yeah, especially times. The thinking they're funny thing too also happens a lot, where like they'll recount like, oh, I said this joke at a thing, and it was so funny, everyone laughed, and whenever somebody kind of does that recounting of the conversation, I want to tune out, but like the politeness in me is like
exactly
but it's like
I want to check out.
I
don't want to get I know what you're doing, and I don't want to give you what you want because it just feels stupid,
because it bugs me when people do that, and I have no larger point to make about it. It just really bugs me when somebody's like recounting a conversation they had, and it's clearly they're doing it because like, oh, I said something funny, or I was the winner of this argument or something like that. It just bugs me.
Anytime people are fishing for a very specific reaction from you, it's lame, because it feels like you just want me to say a specific thing. You're not actually having a conversation with me.
Yeah. Yeah, I have no larger point to make. It just bugs me when people do that. And that's why I think maybe I can't speak for the Rob Schneider show, but why I think Curb Your Enthusiasm works so well is because Larry David in the show thinks he's right, but he still gets treated like shit. It's kind of like that thing I talk about a lot, where like in a movie about like a band, the band will play a song and everyone will be like, "Oh, this is the best song I ever heard," and like I think like, no, this song fucking sucks. But I like Inside Llewyn Davis so much because nobody ever reacts positively to his songs, even though what I think he's playing does actually sound good. It's kind of like that reverse effect where it's not insisting that this thing that they're doing is good or proper or something like that. And that's why I think Curb Your Enthusiasm works so well, is like Larry David's making a point in the show, like for each episode, like his character is belaboring a very specific gripe, and you could agree with him on it, but no one else agrees with him, and usually everyone else like shits on him, and that's what makes it work. Is like, it's got that awkward factor which some people can't stand, but like I can stand it, because even though it's awkward, it's like, it's not about him being right, because he's still being a very splitting hairs kind of like prick. You know, like,
yeah, even when he is right, he makes it very annoying for everybody. Like,
exactly. And I think that's why it works, is because if it was just he was right and everyone was just like, "Oh, you're right, Larry David," it would be the most insufferable fucking show in the world. But because no one takes kindly to like his side of the argument, even if I agree with him, I am kind of like on everyone else's side and like, fuck you, Larry David, you know? And that's why it works.
Yeah. Yeah, it's self-deprecation is always funny.
Yeah.
You know?
And it's
as long as you're not fishing for people to be like, "No, you're not that bad." As long as you're like actually shitting on yourself, it's funny. But when you're like trying to like, "Look how great I am," and then everyone clapped, it's just like, ugh.
Yeah, and then everyone clapped is kind of a great way of sort of summing up that. I hate when that happens.
Greg also mentions a very interesting thing about the Rob Schneider show. They color correct every scene of that show, so everything's like cartoonishly like colorful. I think in the video they said he does that because comedies typically are more colorful, so it's just tricks your brain into thinking you're watching something funny even though there's nothing funny happening. But then also they do it because they're like brightening his eyes, so every shot his eyes are like crystal blue. It's like really fucking weird. Like
what's his name? Like Brian in fucking Fast and the Furious?
Exactly, yeah. We were just watching that yesterday. And we were like, holy shit, his eyes are glowing.
That's very funny and very weird. Kind of like weird pseudo-Aryan of him to like color correct his eyes to be bright blue. I don't like that. I don't like that implication. There aren't even Rob Schneider fans. I can't think of anybody who was ever like, "Oh, you know who really was an outstanding part of that thing? Rob Schneider. He really is going places." Like the Making Copies skit from Saturday Night Live is like,
that was his peak. And it's not even good.
And no one likes it.
Yeah, try and think about like what he did to like earn his place. He's got like little parts and things.
I like Jimmy Fallon more than I like Rob Schneider.
Rob Schneider was the comic relief in Judge Dredd. There you go. That was his.
Oh my god.
His peak.
I like Jimmy Fallon on Saturday Night Live more than I like Rob Schneider on Saturday Night Live, and that's saying something. I really didn't like Jimmy Fallon on Saturday Night Live. Like, he was not my favorite part of any sketch, but Rob Schneider ranked lower. I'm just gonna speed run some of the chat real quick. Bebel Rocket says, "As strong is cool." She also says, "Please clap," which I also, like when people are having that is great. I love that meme, and also like, I agree. Like when someone's like, "Please clap," and like that's like the vibe you're getting from the like the story or whatever. That bugs me. Business Father says, "Just saying hi. Hope you guys are great. Thank you so much, Business Father. Hope you're doing well as well. Haven't seen you in a while, but thank you so much for popping in and saying hi." Bellboy Rocket says, "Because Larry David is so insufferable, it makes the show less insufferable." Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's that weird.
Yeah, he's unlikable in like but also kind of likable. It's a weird line he rides. It's
I don't know
great.
how he does it. It's like a magic trick that he does that. Greg says, and that comedian was Albert Einstein.
So he kind of has similar trajectory to like Bill Nye the Science Guy or something. Like decided to get into comedy.
Yeah.
After the fact.
You know how it's like, this man told me I was the smartest person they'd ever seen.
Yeah, no, I get that.
I know. I've also had somebody legitimately tell me like, oh, Albert Einstein once told me I was a genius, and I'm like, lady, you were not alive for Albert Einstein. I've had that happen. She was a pathological liar though, and she came up to my bank window the one day and talked to me for so long, and I couldn't just say, please shut up and go away, because I have to be polite to people, but she like talked to me for an hour about just making lies up, and I had to pretend like, oh wow, that's so crazy.
And, she walked away from that being like, wow, that guy's a fucking patsy. He fell for all of it.
I assume, and the whole time I was just like, you're the most annoying person I've ever met. I'm trying to do, the bank is so busy right now. We are so busy, and I can't just tell you to go away. I learned later on that I could just be like, I'm so sorry, I'm so busy right now. I have to.
I don't have time to listen to your bullshit lies. Get out of the face.
Yeah.
I love that. I almost respect her for pulling a lie out like that. Do you
want to hear some of the lies she told me?
Invent the theory of relativity. We were hanging out.
She told me that she was brought to see Einstein when she was 6 and that he said that she was a genius. She told me that she solved the DC Beltway sniper case for the FBI. She made herself basically sound like Sherlock Holmes, and like the whole time I was just like, oh wow, that's crazy. And the whole time
how you're like, I was annoyed, but I would be like, tell me more of these things, because this is you're a fascinating individual.
She was such a liar, and she had no, and like the whole time she's like, yeah, the FBI hires me regularly to do, serial killer profiles, and I'm very good at them.
Oh,
and
they
I'm
call
like,
her in?
And I'm like, you have $300 in your bank account right now. Like, the FBI does not hire you.
Do you do it pro bono?
She must have, man. She must have been what they inspired all of Criminal Minds. Like, all of the Criminal Minds episodes are based on her. I'm pretty sure. Business Father says that this drawing is their pathos, which, to be fair, yes, because Business Father is a chef, and so yeah, this is very much. I mean, this is based on a game based on chef experiences.
Kitchens.
Kitchens in that life.
We were playing PlateUp.
We were PlateUp, which is basically like Overcooked, but it's not.
There's no volcanoes or earthquakes or anything.
Yeah, I will say it doesn't have as much charm as Overcooked, but that's fine.
I agree. It's a little more like minimal, I think.
It definitely feels like Wish.com Overcooked, and that's fine. Like, it works. It's okay, you know.
I like the roguelike style though. Like,
yes,
if we get that in Overcooked, that'd be great. But
yeah, the continual playability of it is because like Overcooked is like, oh, you did 3 levels in this kitchen, go to a new place, and guess what? There's a fucking volcano, and it's like, oh fuck, I just really liked serving dishes in that last kitchen. I wish I could do that for an extended period of time. And this game does that. Greg says, Ian, that fucking hurt. That's a real deep insult. Christ. I was under the tutelage of Albert Einstein. Bobo Rocca says, I think habitual or pathological liars believe their own lies. That's the most annoying thing about them. I did get the sense that she almost... I mean, I don't know. She was old. She seemed crazy. She seemed like she really was, like, drinking her own Kool-Aid.
The thing that... I know you're speedrunning the chat, but real quick. The thing that annoys me the most about, like, liars or manipulators is, like... I think they think they're getting you. And that makes me... maybe it just hurts my ego. But I'm like, you think I'm so stupid that I'm falling for this shit? Like, that's the part that bugs me the most, is that, like, they can say that to you and then they believe that you, like, are eating the bullshit they're feeding you.
Yeah, like, the only reason she talked to me for an hour...
You think that little of me?
The only reason she talked to me for an hour is because she probably thought I was taking everything she said hook, line, and sinker. But like the first she opened with I solved the DC Beltway sniper case, which by the way she had told me this lie the last time she was at my window, and I was just like, you're so fucking full of shit. But you know, I was like, oh wow, that's so cool. Wow, you have $20.
I like how Greg says, wow, what a bad bitch. Yeah, that's kind of how I feel about it. I'm like, maybe the framework of I'm at work and you're making it hard for me to do my job would suck. But the fact that she's so like unabashedly dropping these giant lies, I'd be like, you're one of the most fascinating people I've ever spoke to. I want to talk to you more. I want to know what else you think you did.
If we weren't so fucking busy, I would have listened to her all day because I would have just loved to see like to what extent would she lie? You know, like would she be like, you know, I'm actually the one who killed Hitler? It's like, wow, that's nuts for you to say. Killed himself. Well, they think that, but actually, I'm the one. I pretended to be Ava Braun, and I snuck into that bunker, and I put 2 in the head right there and 1 in the chest. I would love to have seen
ending the war.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you for your contribution to society. I would have loved to have seen to what extent she would have lied. Like, I invented the hot air balloon. Whoa, that's crazy. I can't believe you did that. Oh, yes, and also, I taught Casey Peralta how to skateboard. I'm the one who first thought to put wheels on a board. And ollie. I came up with the ollie. Holy shit.
You never know. She might have like kind of like a Forrest Gump life going on. She might have done all this shit.
I had a 3-way with Pat Sajak and Bob Barker. Oh my god, that's crazy.
Whoa. More. Yeah, honestly though, I would be like more
yeah,
involved. I want to hear more about all this.
If we weren't like, she of course always came in, we were swamped. I don't know why, but it's almost like she got a thrill out of like making the line wait as she lied
Probably.
to me. But I would have loved to have just like, I wish I'd written notes of all the fucking lies she told me. She told me so many fucking lies. She definitely said like a TV show is based on her, and that I think she told me like,
I would hope so after all she's accomplished.
She's like, that's not even my real name.
Whoa. Like, oh man, I can't do your banking for you if this is a fraudulent name. Sorry.
Yeah, actually,
get out of my line.
I have to close your account because you told me this. Like, you, are you sure you want to like stick to this one? Maybe I can see your social security card or something. Like
okay,
that.
fine. That one's a lie.
That one's a lie, but everything else is very true. Okay, Ian, what happens then? What happen when that happens? One of two things should happen. One, you act like it turns you way the fuck on and start hitting on her. No, that would make me lose my job even more. That's even worse. The FBI don't pay shit, apparently, says Bubble Rocket. He says, or 2, you say you are the FBI and you threaten to arrest her for breaking her cover. That's pretty good. And Lotus Clock says, no, seriously, what is my guy doing? It'll hopefully make more sense when we're drawing it, but...
the way you do it in the game isn't very, like, real to life.
It's true, it's not.
You know?
I'm trying to basically...
I'm not sure.
I'm trying to draw my guy is throwing apples into a pie tin to make apple pie, because that seemed like a funny visual.
That was how you do it in the game.
Yeah. But it's also, it's hard to exactly illustrate that in like a way that conveys. So I'm working on it. I'm hoping with color it'll come together a bit more. I tell you what, you know, they say Eartha Kitt and Eartha Kitt had a 3 with James Dean and oh shit, what's his name? Godfather guy. What's his name? I'm fucking drawing a blank right now.
Marlon Brando?
Marlon Brando, thank you. I knew it started with an M. I just kept going Marv.
Godfather guy. Yeah. Marv Brando.
They say Eartha Kitt had a 3-way with James Dean and Marlon Brando, but actually it was a 4-way, and we were tag teaming. I slapped James Dean's ball sack like a speed bag in a gym.
I was disguised as Marlon Brando.
That's right.
It was me.
They based Revenge of the Nerds off of me.
Oh no. Oh yeah, I get it.
Yeah.
Took me a second.
The
rape scene.
The scene. Yeah, I actually. My one coworker, who I've said a couple of stories about, was talking about Revenge of the Nerds, and I brought up the fact that scene is a rape, and he's just like, no, it's not, and I'm like, yeah, it is, and he's just like,
you can't trick someone into having sex with you. That's no
rape.
bueno. Yeah.
The YouTube censors are gonna have their fucking way with us now.
Oh yeah. Right.
We said
rake. We were talking about yard work.
Yeah. You can't rake somebody like that. It hurts. It hurts too much.
Oh boy.
Greg says, "Does James Dean is gay?"
Popular YouTube search or Google search. I mean.
Yeah. They say Eartha Kitt had a three-way with Marlon Brando and James Dean. I mean, look. Eartha Kitt was Catwoman, okay? I don't know. And if you're going to have a three-way with anybody, James Dean or Marlon Brando, both of them not bad, people to be in
not
your
bad gets.
Not bad horns to have as part of your Devil's three-way, if you know what I mean.
I don't understand.
Anyways, Eartha Kitt, she was in Ernest Saves Halloween.
Was she?
She was, yeah.
Did she play Halloween?
No, she did not. I wish she played Michael Halloween. That would have been great.
She was Ernest?
She's basically playing like a witch who sounds exactly like Yzma from what's that fucking movie? The Emperor's New Groove.
Oh, Greg just said that is who was the voice in Emperor's New Groove.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I'm saying she was doing the exact same character as her character in Emperor's New Groove.
I thought you were saying she sounded like I understand. Got it.
No, but I actually when we were watching, so like I said, the family and I, we watch stuff together. We were watching Ernest Does Halloween or Saves Ernest Does Halloween.
That's the porno.
Yeah.
That's really funny.
We were watching
Scared Stupid.
Yeah, Ernest Scared Stupid. We were watching it a couple years ago, and I was like, man, the lady who's playing the witch, she's fucking killing it. Her voice is great. She's doing a great job. My mom's like, that's Eartha Kitt. And I'm like, oh, well, no wonder. Eartha Kitt's a fucking treasure. But yeah, no, she's in it. She's basically doing the same voice as Yzma from Emperor's New Groove.
Got it. I've seen that movie. And I vaguely remember who you're talking about.
Emperor's New Groove or Ernest Scared Stupid?
Well, both, but Ernest Scared Stupid I've seen less.
I see.
I watched a lot in that back. I think it's the best of the Ernest movies. Agree? Disagree? Actually, is that a bit hard take? What does the chat think? Best Ernest movie.
Yeah, chat, let us know. Cancel Brandon if that was not the best Ernest movie. We watched a bit of Ernest Saves Christmas. We watched all of Ernest Scared Stupid, but I also fell asleep halfway through, which there's nothing against the movie. I mean, I was just tired. But it's hard to say. I can't give you the definitive answer on that.
Man, of all the movies made based on commercials, the Ernest films are pretty good.
Yep. I also this feels very relevant right now, but Greg says, you not reading the chat makes my interjections real flaccid, unlike Eartha Kitt in her prime. That's not... I
always think of the Community joke where Chevy Chase is like, this reminds me, or he keeps trying to make like innuendos to insinuate that he had sex with Eartha Kitt, and they're all ignoring him, and then finally he just goes, I banged Eartha Kitt on an airplane or something like that.
Oh, Chevy Chase.
There's someone who's not a treasure.
Someone who's not a treasure, but you know what? I will say he got canceled pretty much, but he never went on Fox News to be like, they won't let me on TV anymore. So
I don't think he got canceled. I think enough people got sick of working with him.
But yeah, that's what like a lot of like there will be people who are like,
that's what canceling is.
Yeah. So he's at least I don't know. Is Chevy Chase better than Rob Schneider? Yes. I'll say that.
I mean, like, talented wise, definitely.
I think but talent wise, but also not like once he got called
just
out
type
and
of
like
person. Yeah, he's probably a better person too. I don't know.
Yeah, I think so. And Greg
he
says
seems
yes,
like a
too.
real asshole.
He seems like a real asshole, but so does Rob Schneider, because Rob Schneider.
Yeah, Rob Schneider seems. And Rob Schneider, like, you know, there's a lot of assholes out there, but Rob Schneider's like, why are you even on the TV? Just go away.
No one likes you, Rob. Jesus Christ.
Yeah. Chevy Chase, you at least understand why he was popular.
Yeah.
You know, he's funny and he's talented.
Funny. He's good at what he does.
He's just a dickhead.
He's just a real asshole. Anyway, so I started talking about this like an hour ago. I never got around to it. So, watching TV shows with the parents. Started watching a new one because we finished Newhart. It's called. You've probably heard of this show, but I've heard of it. I've never watched it, but it's called Northern Exposure.
Oh yeah, isn't it like Bob's Burgers like art style?
No.
Or no. I know what you're talking about.
You're thinking of the Great North.
Yes,
which
sorry.
We as the family did start watching, and my brother and my parents were all like, "Let's please stop watching this." And I was like,
"Sure."
I swear it gets better, but I understand because I also was not so hot on it in the beginning. But Northern Exposure, similarly, is set in Alaska, but it's a live action show. It's kind of so. When I say like the phrase prestige TV, what does that mean to you? Just out of curiosity.
Nothing. I don't know what that means.
Okay. I don't know if it's a phrase that gets much use anymore, but like prestige TV was like what they called Breaking Bad, what they called The Sopranos.
Okay.
You know, like I would say hour-long episodes of like an ongoing series where like it's not like shot like a multi-cam sitcom, you know, where there's like a bunch of sets. It's like shot on location, and like there's like actual cinematography going on, and there's writing. Greg says an intro that's just a camera panning around a 3D object with a theme song that's just a staccato cello. That's prestige TV. Dun, dun,
Ooh,
dun, dun, dun.
Sounds good.
I'd watch that. What show is that? I want to see that. But anyways, prestige TV, you know, so prestige TV is kind of like those TV shows that are like, they're not made on the cheap. There's kind of a bit more like filmography going on. It's almost like watching a movie every...
It's like what HBO was doing before the rest joined in.
Exactly. And so this is a show that I would consider... I mean, I think it started in like 1990, so it's like The Sopranos started
I know it's
in
older.
The Sopranos started in like 2000, so it's like whenever I hear people talk about prestige TV, they're like, "Oh, The Sopranos was the starter of it," and I'm like, now I've watched the Northern Exposure, and I'm kind of like, the show was first. It's not about gangsters hitting each other, you know. It's about, you know, a
Which
a
is
doctor.
what Sopranos is about.
Yeah. And when I say hitting, I'm not talking about bop bop. I'm talking bop.
You're talking about whacking.
Yeah. But it's about a doctor. So basically, like this guy named Joel Fleischman. He's like a doctor from New York, and he just finished his residency, and he's like trying to get work, and he goes to Alaska because they've offered to pay him money to like, or maybe he's doing his residency in Alaska. I don't fucking know. I'm not a doctor. But he goes to Alaska because like they're offering him money to come to Alaska to do his residency there. And so he goes to Alaska, and then he gets to Alaska, and they're like, "Hey, we have too many doctors here. We overhired. So we're gonna send you to a town called Sicily, which is a bit more north. That's okay. And you'll do your residency there." And he goes, and Sicily is just like this real podunk town in the middle of like nowhere, Alaska. There's like moose everywhere. It's like you have to like take a fucking biplane to get in and out. And he
That's
also
like half of Alaska.
Yeah, that's true. But he finds out that he's like stuck there on a contract for like 4 years or something like that. And he's just stuck in this small ass town in Alaska to be a doctor, and he has like no way out because like the guy who's like the signer of the contract like basically threatens to shoot him if he ducks out. And And that's the show, is like him just living in this town in Alaska and being a doctor there. And that's it. But
is it a comedy?
It's a comedy. Right? Yeah, it's mostly a comedy, but it's kind of it's not like very funny. It's more like it's like a drama with comedy elements, but it's not that dramatic either. So it's kind of just like, it feels almost slice of life, you know. It's not like very, very funny. It's not very, very dramatic, but it's good. I like it.
Cool. I have heard of it. I just forgot about it because I haven't heard of it in a long time.
It's on Amazon Prime. We were like scrolling through for other shows to watch after we finished Newhart, and we're like, huh. And then I gave up on Amazon Prime and I was switching to something else, and Mom was like, oh, let's watch a show called Northern Exposure. And I'm like, I just saw that on Amazon. So I went back and we started watching it, and yes, it's good. Because it's in Alaska, there's a lot of Native American representation in the show, which is very cool to see. So it's kind of like you do get like these characters, you do get like this cool sort of bit of that side of Alaska, where it's like this town has like a half Native American, half white people sort of like population, so you get like that sort of dichotomy, and it's cool to see, and it's done. I think it's handled very well, and it's like handled with respect, and like they're given character. Like there's this one character named Ed, who I didn't realize was like, I thought he was just a white guy, but then like in the second episode he's like, yeah, my grandfather, or my uncle, I think, you know, he's a witch doctor, but like, I need you to cure, because he's got like something, he's got blood in his urine, and he's just talking about like, oh yeah, I put together remedies, I comfort people when they're ailing, that's what I do, we're both doctors. And you know, he says like, oh yeah, also I saw a specialist and I got my urine checked out. And I was like, I don't know, it's a cool show, and it's cool to see, and it's interesting. It's definitely 90s. It's very nice. Like the fucking theme song sounds like if you were to be in like if you were playing a game that on the Nintendo 64, and like you were in an area set in like a beach town, that's what the theme song sounds like.
I love all the like 90s like music and shows. It all sounds like it was done on like a keyboard that you could buy at a garage.
Yeah,
sale.
That's exactly what it sounds like. It sounds like a fucking Casio theme song. It's great. And it's very charming because of that.
Love it. That reminds me, because we mentioned this show a little bit, and B, I just remembered something I've been watching, but with Curb Your Enthusiasm, the finale happened.
Oh yeah.
And I won't spoil anything, but we watched it. It's good. It's sad to see the show end, but the man's also like 76, so it's like,
yeah, and also
you
like,
don't have to make shit TV anymore. You can relax.
At least like 5 of the regular cast members on that show have died.
Yeah, Richard Lewis died this year, but I mean he was in the finale, so it was after they were done filming.
Yeah, but like that one guy with the throat thing who has the voice.
Funkhauser. I can't think of the actor's real name, but
he
Funkhauser
died
in the show,
which was really a bummer as well. So it's like it makes sense to start ending the show, like, you know.
It's a good show. It's good stuff.
Yeah, I mean I'm all caught up except for the final season, so I gotta watch it. I gotta sit down and give it a
Yeah, the final season was pretty good. There was some good episodes. The final episode, they kind of there's some like callbacks and references to some other things I won't get too into, but at least until you watch it. But yeah, it was good. It's funny, they were doing like a lot of like flashbacks in the final episode from certain moments here and there during one part, and it's funny because that show's been going since 2001, so like some of the flashbacks Larry is just like dramatically younger. Granted, he's always looked old, but now that he is old, you look at, he has kind of a Steve Martin thing going on where he's just like permanent old guy. He's had white hair since he was 20. That's not true about Larry David, but I just that same kind of like I thought you were old, you know.
He's just always looked like an old guy. Yeah, I don't know how else to describe it. He's just always looked old as fuck. And maybe it's because like he's always been like bald from like here.
He has the like old man. Like a lot of people are bald, but the way you handle it, you know, if you have it like where it's like long, Like if you have a Frasier haircut, it
Yeah,
makes you look older.
it does.
Or a Larry David, it makes you look older. So I don't know. That could be part of it.
Yeah, it's sad to see the show go, but also I'm glad that they know when to call it quits, and also I'm glad they made a few more seasons because the show is still funny even when it came back. Because I know they've like
quit like before.
Ended, before. But especially if they're doing
There's
like
a
an
season
episode
that ends with him dying, and I think that was supposed to originally be the end.
That's right. How did that? Which season was that?
He like has like an out of body experience, and then I think he comes back before the episode's over. But I think that was originally where it was supposed to end.
Right.
That was a while back though. That was like
at least 4 seasons.
I think that was the season where Leon joined or something. I don't know. It's been a while.
Yeah. Great show though. Big fan.
Great show. We also watched the first 2 episodes of Fallout.
Oh, nice. I've been hearing.
Pretty
I'm
cool.
surprised about how well people everywhere seem to like. Even people who don't know about the video games, people are like giving it good marks.
Yeah, I don't feel like I have enough of a vantage point to have a full opinion of the show, but so far, it feels like I would. They seem to be like getting the vibes right. Like it feels like it maybe should for a Fallout show.
Yeah,
if that makes sense. Like so often you watch one of these things and it's like, oh, so the person who made this read
fucking hated the game,
the Wikipedia article, and then made a show about it. Like they know nothing about it. I don't know. This like there's so many like references and things, and it feels like whoever made it at least knew their shit to some degree. I don't know.
I watch Tim Kaine on YouTube. He's the guy. He was one of the main guys who made Fallout at Troika, and he went to the premiere apparently of the show. But he had like just very positive things to say about the show. Which if like one of the creators of the game is like very happy with the show, then I think that's generally a good sign.
Yeah, that's a great sign.
Yeah.
Like if one person gets to have. Yeah. And as people who watch this know, we love to have our opinions, but if one person gets to have an opinion, it's whoever created the source material. Right?
Yeah, absolutely. Greg says if you guys start talking about Halo, you're gonna have to invite me into the call. It's okay.
I have not watched the show.
I haven't, so unfortunately we can't get too much into it. But I just know that first of all, you see Master Chief's face in like the first episode, and you also see his ass cheeks, and it's like both of those
in the first episode.
Both of those just tell me like the people who made the show just did not give a fuck about Halo, because like you never even see his fucking face. He like every game is like he's gonna take his helmet off, and then the camera's like, "Oops, I went over here." You can't see his fucking face.
I'm certain I've never seen his face, and I've never seen his ass outside of the websites that I frequent.
Yeah.
So I was just it felt wrong.
I've seen Cortana's ass more than I've seen Master Chief's face. And I'm talking about in the games. Just don't watch the show, he says. Don't worry, I was never going to start.
No, I think we watched the first episode, but it was like... Or not, we didn't even watch the whole first episode. We just watched a few bits. Yeah. And we're just like, okay.
Yeah, that's enough for me.
I think it was friend of the show, Austin, who was like, you got to see some of these shots.
Yeah.
They showed a few to us.
And that was
our whole relationship with that show. But it has a second season. It's like, what is
I've heard,
like how?
I don't know, man.
Usually, there's good shows that don't get a second season.
I know. So, what the fuck?
Got that Microsoft money.
That's right, they do. I will say, so we have apparently the Fallout show is good. So that Fallout, Last of Us, and depending on who you talk to, the first Mortal Kombat movie. Those are the 3 good video game adaptations I can think of.
What are you talking about? What about Uwe Boll's contributions?
Oh man, Uwe Boll. Oh yeah, for sure. Greg says they introduced the Flood before they even set foot on the ring. That's stupid. 2 goddamn seasons and there's no actual Halo. That's what the fuck. Also, they ordered the first 2 seasons in one go, so there was always going to be a season 2. That makes sense. And then also,
there it is. Okay.
Greg said in all caps, Detective Pikachu. So I think that's an approval from Greg on Detective Pikachu. I never actually saw Detective Pikachu. I remember wanting to go with friends in to see it in theaters, but we never got around to it.
I think I did watch it, but I think I liked it. That's all I have to say about it.
Greg says...
I'm pretty sure I've seen it. I think I liked it.
Greg says Detective Pikachu is fucking good, and he also says Uwe Boll's Postal movie is actually dead on. That I actually don't have a hard time believing, because I've played Postals 1, 2, and a bit of 4, and I mean, yeah, you just got to be ridiculous and not give a fuck, and then you've kind of got the Postal vibe. But to be fair, the running with scissors guys actually seem pretty cool, as far as I can tell. I saw a video. There's a guy who I watched on YouTube. He's the guy who does like the reloads of like household items. I don't know if you've seen those videos.
I've seen like 1 or 2 or something. I've seen little clips or something. Where
he's like reloading a lamp.
Like first person shooter reloads.
Yeah, exactly. But he's like, it's like a lamp or it's a vacuum cleaner or something like that. And they're clever, so I followed him. And he's actually a pretty cool guy. Like he seems very like not a piece of shit. You know, I don't know how else to describe it. But he actually got a job with running with scissors. And so he actually got to visit the creators of Postal like at their house in Arizona. And he has like a little video where he does a tour. And there's like a moment where he's just talking about like, you know, you see all these, like the main guy who runs the company. He's like, you know, you see all these companies doing layoffs and stuff like that. And we just don't think that that's how you know, run a business. And like, we've made sure that we aren't doing layoffs like that. Like he basically just talked about like not doing the same bullshit that we're kind of seeing across the industry and like laying people off. Like he's like talking about how like the people who work at the company have been there for a long time and stuff like that. And that, I just respect somebody who's like that, who's like, you know, we could have
fresh air.
Yeah. As the kids are saying, a based, which I guess is what you do with a turkey, like a turkey.
You baste. They don't call them turkeys anymore, dude. They're glizzies. You're so old.
Greg says amazing score, actual goddamn good shit on Detective Pikachu. Also, Greg says based man, stop pretending to not know. Millennials came up with based. Okay, look, based is a word that's in my lexicon. I feel goofy when I fucking say it. But I will see somebody do something based, and I'll be like, fucking based. We love a based so-and-so. But I feel like a fucking old man trying to like cling to adolescence saying it.
Every time I try to reference what kids say, I then reference something they haven't been saying for like 10 years.
Yeah.
Not intentionally. It's just me being old and out of touch. So that was an example.
Also, I had to have somebody explicitly explain to me like what based means. I was like, someone said like, oh, that's so based, and I was like, what the fuck are you saying? Like, are you saying the pH level is below 7? I'm so confused.
Marty, why is everything so heavy in the future?
It's from Based God. I thought it was, but I never knew for certain. But Marty, it's your kids, Marty. We have to do something about your kids. They're not based. Oh,
no
geez,
cat.
Doc. Oh, geez, Doc. This is not based.
Can't wait for the Back to the Future remake.
I mean, according to Red Letter Media, they have like a deal where like they have to explicitly sign off on a Back to the Future reboot or remake happening, and they haven't done it yet.
Ooh.
So the Zemeckis guy, Robert Zemeckis, wow. I think is the one guy.
That's a rare deal, I think, because
studios
just kind of do what they want, right?
I hope they never die and never give up the rights to Back to the Future, because that, if you thought I was mad about Beetlejuice, I don't even give a fuck about Beetlejuice. I watched the movie twice. I thought it was fine. I enjoyed it. But Back to the Future, I also think is fine and enjoy it, but I also watched it when I was a child, so I will be more mad because of time.
It's a great movie. It's a quality film.
Izzy says, I only know what based means contextually, no idea what it actually means. That's very based of you.
I mean, if you understand what it means contextually, then
that's the same thing as understanding
right?
it.
You kinda, you get it. It's
I get it. Yeah.
Language has served its purpose.
Yeah. That's language right there. Done in one. Brandon, sometimes we leave pockets of space open in these drawings, and I'm just like, what the fuck am I gonna do with this? You know what I mean?
Well, we can keep it simple and just draw like. You don't have to fill it with stuff. You don't have to fill it with things.
I know.
You want me to take over the background?
I'm willing to. I'll do this part right here. Oh fuck! I did it. It's done. I don't know what to do with the rest. I don't know what you had in mind. I don't know.
I mean, I was just gonna block out some color and maybe like a few like vague silhouettes of stuff that could be there. You don't have to actually fill it with stuff.
I have that difficulty sometimes where I have a hard time not doing detail. Where they're like, you know how like some people they'll have the right amount of detail, and then they'll stop, and like all the information that needs to be conveyed will be conveyed, and all of like that empty space is like filled without making your brain question like what the fuck is going on over there.
Yeah,
I'm jealous of that.
I used to struggle with making everything, and I still do, but I used to struggle more with making everything too busy.
I do.
I'm trying to get away from that, and I've gotten a little better at it, but I think, it's just good to remember like not everything needs to be. You don't have to George Lucas remaster fill every square inch with something.
Very true. I
leave empty space.
What I've been doing lately is I've been specifically making certain things busy, and then if they're a different like focal element, like for instance, I did a poster for a friend recently, and in it, it's like he's in a spaceship, he's playing a bunch of instruments, and I made the spaceship and like the area inside the spaceship very busy and full of dials and buttons and things like that, but then I made the line art for the friend and the instruments he's playing much less busy and simple, and I found that works because the busyness of the spaceship makes your eyes glaze over all that detail, and then when you see the less busy thing, your eyes kind of draw to that, I feel like, and that works for me.
Yeah, so you kind of can make the filled out spot the negative space by, almost making it into like a pattern of sorts.
Exactly, or just like making it so busy that like it's like exhausting for your eyes to try and like your eyes are like exhausted trying to figure out what the fuck is going on back there. So it's like because this character is such a less busy thing, and it's probably gonna be more vibrantly colored, and a human face also draws the eye. That will feel like it's separate from the background and kind of will visually make itself distinct. It's something I've been playing with.
Exhaust the viewer.
Yeah, that's me. I've just been playing with composition and like how to do better composition, and like the dichotomy between like a busy element and like a non-busy element feels like a tool in my tool bag.
Totally.
Let's read the chat real quick. That's exactly the point. It's like, fuck, it has little meaning outside of context. Most words don't have meaning outside. In fact, most sentences, I'll say a sentence and then somebody will start to like respond to like the first half of my sentence. And I'll be like, but wait, there's a whole second half of the sentence that clarifies everything. If you would just let me finish my sentence.
Sorry.
Not you. You're actually you're
Okay,
fine with that. No. You're actually fine with that. There's some people who just like it's a struggle to like get a point across because I'm like trying to say something and I'm like, okay, but I have a setup and then I have the conclusion, and I don't feel that way talking to you, which is again is why I think we get along so well.
So I don't annoy the fuck out of you.
Yeah, that sounded very self-serving the way I said that.
That's the reason I haven't cut you out yet. You know.
Yeah, because you don't.
So keep that in your mind. Don't change. If you get annoying, we're done.
You do all that shit that bugs me, I'll fucking stop. Izzy says, "Is John an old person thing?" It's a Philly thing. And yeah, Greg says because John's like a mutation of joint. And yeah, I was thinking that the other day. I was like, John is just joint, just like, made more slangy. John's fun. John is not something I've ever said without being hyper aware of me saying John or calling something John. But in Philly, I'll be so happy to like if I'm talking to somebody who's in Philly, I'll be like, yeah, that John over there, that John right there. Yeah, this John's that John. Oh yeah, John Valjean.
John Valjean.
It's like when I'm in Philly, it's like I feel almost like I'm allowed to be extra Philly.
The guy from La Miserable.
Les
Lems.
Less miserable is?
There you go. John Valjean. Somebody's
John
done that
Valjean
joke.
up on
Has
the
to
roof.
exist.
Cat on a hot tin roof. You can lead a horse to water.
That joke has to exist, right? Like it's like the musical, but it's like Philly.
Oh, I'm sure. If it hasn't,
Accents. John Valjean.
If it doesn't, then like, what the fuck are we even doing? You know, Jesus Christ.
Yeah, the simulation has failed.
I did back in the day. I wrote a very short script called Drakespeare with my roommate, where basically we did the feud between Meek Mill and Drake, but like in Shakespearean, which included Drakespeare proclaiming the what's the word I'm looking for? Proclaiming the basically the benefits of living Fapa Bowie, which is for a person only has but one existence. And it was a great piece of improvisation by the guy who played Drakespeare in our play, because we performed it live in front of a club that was doing a Drake night. But the guy who played Drake, he was like doing for a person only has but one existence, Fapa Bowie. And then eventually he like just stopped and he was just like, it's a parody of YOLO. We're doing YOLO, you only live once, Fapa Bowie, for a person only has but one existence. And like the way he kind of stopped and like broke a character in that moment got a big laugh out of the audience. But
That's funny.
yeah, he was
I've
a good
never
pick
heard
for it.
Fapa Bowie before.
Well, we made it up.
I understand now.
Yeah, Fapa Bowie was our Shakespearean form of YOLO.
Got it. I follow now. I sorry I'm a little slow, you know.
It's okay. That's why we hang out. No.
Make you feel smart.
That's right. To you, I'm a fucking Einstein over here, man. Like, I tell you what, this is John
Einstein,
right here.
I met him.
Oh, yeah. John, and then Einstein said, you are a smart person.
Yeah, Einstein once told me that I was smarter than him. I was like, you mean that, bro? And he was like, hell yeah, bro.
And then he gave me a hammer and he said, hey, you hit the final hit on this nail
He said, kill me.
the nuclear bomb. Oh, okay.
And I said, are you okay, Einstein?
And he's like, no, I'm very depressed. And I'm like, oh,
Craziest
God,
part is he
Einstein.
looked nothing like Einstein.
Yeah, and we also met him in an alleyway, and he didn't have a German accent. And we had just seen him shitting on the ground about 5 minutes earlier.
It's weird, you know. People, you never meet your heroes. That's what I always say.
Yeah, they never quite live up to your expectations. Anyway, so I killed him with a hammer, and that's how I murdered Heimstein.
Exactly. The end.
And scene. Papa boy. Oh, we also had my one roommate play Future, but he was like, it was great because the guy who played Drakespeare in our Drakespeare play, he like had listened to a bunch of Drake songs, and so he would say all of his lines like the flow of like Drake songs. He brought so much to the table. He did such a great job. Like when we were doing the test readings, he just fucking killed it, and we were like, "Wow, I'm so fucking glad that we got you to be Drakespeare for this. It was great."
He took the Drake thing to another level.
He did, and I remember like we sat down and we like studied Drake. Like we watched an interview where he talked about when he was like still on Degrassi, and he's like, "Oh yeah, I got this letter from a fan. Yeah, and I'm thinking about becoming a rapper. I'm thinking of calling myself Drake because of my middle name." And we were just like, "This is fucking hilarious to see." But like we studied that.
Witnessing the origin of Drake.
Yeah, you can see it. Like there's like a thing where it's like
historians struggle to find the moment when Drake became Drake, but you know, you can at least get close.
There's like a video you can find on YouTube where it's like Drake it's like, check out what's his name on Degrassi, and he's like, yeah, I got this letter from a fan, and like we actually wrote the fan letter into like the script because like it was basically like a recreation of I think it was Hamlet, or no, it wasn't Hamlet, it was Macbeth, because it was Meek Mill and his like feud with Drake, so it was Meekbeth. And so Macbeth, you know, he ends up killing people who were like, you know, sort of like part of his like life and his pursuit for power. And so like the idea was that he would kill the fan, and like because it would like kind of propel him to stardom or something like that. But
this sounds amazing.
we put a bit of effort into it. We only wrote the first scene, but we had like a whole like basically recreation of Macbeth, but with Drake planned out in the works.
Wow.
But it was a lot of fun. Greg says, "This sounds incredible. I wish I could have seen it." I bet we have the script.
I agree.
I bet we have the script somewhere. I think somebody filmed it, but I don't know how we'd ever track that person down and
It's a lost tape.
It is. It's lost media. It's a play that we wrote to perform in front of a club full of drunk people.
Who else do people perform in front of, you know?
Very true. Drunk people waiting to get inside of a club where like the music is so loud you can't hear a person 5 feet from you. There's also there is a photo of me and Tyler plead the filth in that club. Ooh. Do you see the chat? Did Crazy Kyle redeemed text to speech, but it looks like we...
Oh. It contains spam.
What the fuck? I would turn... can we turn that off?
I don't know.
I feel like all of the TTS is spam. We still been like tinkering with
that's what Kyle said. Kyle says it was spam. What's the problem?
We still gotta tweak the TTS a little bit. Like we definitely want to encourage the spamming, and we're definitely gonna make people pay us money to do the TTS.
Yeah,
because
it's free for now, so enjoy.
Enjoy while it's free, because it ain't gonna be. It ain't gonna be free.
Ain't gonna be free.
Oh my god, did we come to that conclusion at the same time?
Yeah, but the internet's gonna think that you came up with it first because of latency. This is bullshit.
This is no. We were saying it at the same time, so I think it's weird how in sync we are. Like in sync.
In sync. There you go.
It happens a lot though. We made a joke last night at the same time, and it was like because it is. It's not. I feel like the obvious thing that we both come up with sometimes. I don't know. It feels like sometimes.
Eventually, we'll just fully merge, and one of us can just take the night off for DrawBomb.
Yeah, I'll be like, so Ian, what did you do today?
Parts.
Well, Brandon, Well, Ian, Well, Brandon,
Exactly.
Okay, we gotta.
Ain't
We're
spam.
gonna.
Let me see if I can fix this.
I think we have to
What
use
is-
not. I think we have to use not sound alerts for the TTS. I think that's what it is.
Yeah,
is
probably. Sound.
voice sound alerts. You
try
sound
it.
alert.
Try to doctor this up while you're finishing up.
All right. It's gonna be May. It's gonna be memes. Oh, you drawing the extra pies on the counter makes what my character is doing so much more obvious.
It
Brilliant
had to
touch.
happen because it wasn't very clear. Not
Yeah.
your fault. That's actually how you put together a pie in the game. You chop an apple into like 2 pieces and then stick it into a pie that's already cooking.
Yeah.
It's not based in reality.
No, but thank you for doing that. That works. That clarifies things so much in the picture. That's like, I feel like that's like half of the struggle with art is just making sure that like what you're drawing actually translates to like visual
Make it
comprehension.
legible or make it, yeah.
The ting goes scraw, pap pap ka 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 skidiki pap pap, and a poo poo pooter boom skia, doo doo coo coo doom doom poom poom. You done now.
That was beautiful. I'm so
That
glad
one
that
wasn't spam, apparently.
that was the best possible first text to speech we could have ever had happen on the show.
Yeah, thank you for that.
Thank you.
Oh, yeah, we got to figure out how to rig it up a little better. And then also, I think it'd be fun to have like the draw boy appear and say the things. If we
I
could
would
make
love
that,
that.
happen. I don't know. That might be too much.
I think I know
I feel
how
like when we
can
get
do
too many
it.
moving parts, stuff gets broken.
That's true. We can do it though. I think we can do it.
Greg, so you're going to go. You see the lips at the bottom of the chat? That's your channel points, and it's a channel
Lips
point
in the
redemption.
chat. Lips in the chat. Everybody, lips in the chat. That's another. I need to make more DrawBomb songs for the show, just because it's been a while since I've just like made random music just for funsies.
Yeah.
Brandon, do you use Spotify at all?
Enjoy. I do.
Have I
do,
told
I
you
do.
about Daylist?
I don't know if you have. Refresh me if you have.
So there's this function. One of the coworkers who I actually quite like at my job, told me about this on our first day working together. He's a very cool guy. I should show you pictures of his dog. His dog
He
is
was
so
the one
fucking
that
cute.
says he doesn't like Seinfeld.
No, that's Bill. Bill is
I
the
know,
one who
I'm
doesn't.
just-
Oh, okay.
He's
I
super
didn't-
cool. He has a lot of good opinions.
Yeah, he doesn't like Mad Max Fury Road. Doesn't like Seinfeld. Didn't finish watching Fight Club because he didn't want to watch any more of it. Yeah,
He said he didn't like Mad Max because he couldn't get in the mindset of a wastelander.
Oh man, wow, what things he has said. But no, this other coworker who we actually get along quite well. He's a cool guy. He's got a cute dog. Anyways, the first day working together, he told me about the Spotify thing called Daylist. So you know your Discover Weekly.
Yeah.
So the Daylist is like a Discover Weekly, but it refreshes every 2 hours, and also it takes. I'm less thrilled about this part, but whatever, it's fine. It takes like what you so like in the morning, it's got a morning playlist for me of like 3 hours of music. And then like at noon or like 11 o'clock, it's like, oh, it's your noon playlist. And then at like 1 o'clock, it's like, it's your 1 o'clock playlist. And so for instance, this morning, it was like, and it's based on a little bit of like what you listen to, but also like what you listen to on specific days at specific times, which is kind of weird. So for instance, today it was like, you like chill instrumental music in the morning. And I was like, yeah, I do. And then it was like at
You're
lunch, you like jazzy, upbeat tunes. And I was like, yeah, I do. And it gives me good music. And then at like 1 o'clock, it was like, you like more instrumental, jazzy music. And I was like, yeah, I do. And then at 3 o'clock, it was like, you like vaporwave and mallcore. And I was like, yeah, yes, I do.
Love Mallcore at 3.
I do love mallcore. It called it dreamcore or weirdcore, but it called it. I took a screenshot for some friends because I was like, this is fucking hilarious. But it called it specifically. It called it Frutigere Arrow Mall Soft Monday Afternoon.
Whoa.
Do you know what Frutigere
That's-
Arrow is?
No.
Okay.
I don't know
So-
what anything is this episode.
So
The episode where I know nothing.
I love to introduce people to new concepts. So Frutiger Arrow, there's just a series of
Cool story, bro.
Thank you. I agree. There is a series of aesthetics called Frutiger this, that, or the other. And Frutiger Arrow is like that early 2000s internet computer aesthetic. Like, here, I'll just post some examples in the picture. Excuse me, moi. Give me a sec. But there's a website I found. It's actually a wiki of aesthetics. I found an aesthetics wiki.
Is the wiki aesthetically pleasing to look at?
It's vaporwave. It's a vaporwave aesthetic.
Oh yeah, I remember looking at this. You did show me this.
Yeah. Hold on, let me find it. Art resources, or is it inspiration? I think it's art resources. Okay, yeah. So Frutiger Arrow is that early 2000s sort of vibe. Let me find some of the example pictures. I don't know how else to describe it aside from like early web development, you know, like very Y2K era.
Mm-hmm.
So like, I told you about that musician Windows 96.
Right.
His music was very much in this Frutiger Arrow playlist because like that's the kind of music you would hear on like hold music or like on like.
I have listened to that quite a few times since you told me about it.
I'm glad to hear that. So that's that like playlist of the Frutiger Arrow Mallsoft, which I feel like calling it Mallsoft is very accurate because it is kind of like almost like mall music you would hear, but like more electronic. But yeah, so the Google's aesthetic wiki instantly it says guy painting. And also hi guy painting.
I was gonna say I have some bad news for you. Greg cashed something in.
Uh-oh.
He spent some lips.
No. Oh, Jesus Christ. Why is this every time? Swear to God.
I don't know why. It's always you too. They don't like you.
No one ever
They
punches
like
you. I don't understand. Oh,
Don't encourage them.
What a delayed sound. Oh. Ow. Why can't we get this animation
that's
working?
That's enough.
I'm not
you don't
doing
need
this. Oh.
Stop.
Oh.
No, stop.
I have no control over me.
You've had enough. Stop hitting yourself. Why are you hitting yourself? Why are you hitting yourself? Oh, God. No. He's dead. Probably. Oh, no. Well, I hope you're happy, Greg. You killed Ian.
Ugh. You know, your head gets really used to punches after a while. I feel like I'm getting a resistance. I feel like
Oh no. Well, you know, that wasn't a channel redemption point. That was just You just smashing buttons, or
yeah.
Did you see what you were pressing? Greg says, one less horror in the world. Yeah.
Oh, that's a shame.
You're on your soundboard kick now.
I'm trying to get this fucking.
Once per episode, you remember you have the soundboard.
Yeah.
And then you use it up. How do you feel about this drawing?
I like it.
Cool.
Oh,
I'll save it.
Give me 1 second. I'm gonna do that thing I do a lot of the time that sometimes makes it look better and sometimes is very unnecessary. Hold on.
Have it.
Hold on.
Kyle says, I love this drawing, by the way. Him panicking and throwing apple cores and pieces into the pie is amazing. I love it.
Oh, thank you.
Oh, much better. There we go. Perfect.
This is a work of art right here. I tell you what. one.
Now it takes place in the. You put sepia tone over it, you know.
I did a little bit.
Nice little sepia tone.
I was thinking it might work. Oh, it's interesting. I feel like this. I don't know. I feel like sometimes it just helps unify everything.
Yeah. Yeah. Greg says I DM'd Ian an apt video.
Whoa. I like apps.
Goodness, well that could be.
Kitchen piss nightmares. Wow, this is the game. Oh wait, also he says, I have this joke that I'm still refining, but basically it goes, I don't know if I'm allowed to say this. I don't know if this is a private message. But basically it goes, conservative hot wife's back blown out by blacks in logic. That's fucked.
I like how you're like, I don't know if I'm allowed to say this, so therefore I will.
I will say it. And I'll just edit it out when I upload this episode to YouTube. Alright, I'm gonna put this video on the screen. Give me fucking seconds, okay? Jesus.
Okay.
Craig says, "Oh my god, I can't believe you said that, Ian, from your own mouth, from your own brain."
Yeah, that's all on you, man.
And Kyle says, "Yeah, let's be cautious and say the whole DM live."
Just playing it safe.
Give me 2 seconds.
I think we gotta shrink the chat a little bit because it's pretty big on.
Yeah, we gotta make the text a little bit smaller, don't we? Just like a little bit.
The text is too big.
The text is too big. Yeah, I don't know the text is that big. It's actually funny that when we were playing this game last night, I was pretending to be Giuseppe the pie maker, which is funny because actually earlier, I was reading the ingredients to veggie chips to my parents, and I pronounced oregano because I just do that because it's just I don't know. Because I heard a British guy pronounce it that way once, and I was just like, oh, that's probably how it's actually pronounced. Because also, it's an Italian herb, I'm pretty sure.
Aluminium.
Oregano. So I started saying it, yeah, like it's how an Italian would say, like, oregano. My name is Giuseppe. I make the oregano at the factorio. I put it in a can made of aluminium. And I was doing that to my parents to annoy the shit out of them. Because they made fun of me. And so it was funny that later on that night I was being Giuseppe making the pies.
Can't escape that voice.
I can't. Very offensive to me Italians.
This is the game.
This is the game. This is the thing that Greg sent me. We're gonna watch it right now.
Okay.
I'm gonna put it over here so we can get your reaction. Mamma mia, Papa Pizza! It's a me, Giuseppe. My brother Luigi, he always a fighting the turtles.
You guys want an overcooked?
Having a knife fight.
It's gonna be in the way.
You can kind of see the outlines of my ass in this when I run.
Okay, no answer. It's fine then. So, can you upgrade?
Yeah.
Do we want to upgrade the hob or the
Hey,
sink?
we were doing the spinnies too.
One better sink.
You gotta do the spinnies.
Sink.
I like the
I'm
wallpaper they
sourcing-
had in that first
Question,
shot.
I am sourcing opinions from everyone who uses the sink.
I like that.
Yeah, so let's try for that upgrade then. See,
Mine
that's
is
the
the
opinion I'm sourcing.
Yeah, this game's pretty fun. I'm excited to dig into it a bit more.
Yeah, me too.
I like when I repeat what you said, but like in question.
Also, I did buy it last night. I was like, $6, fuck it,
You're
and
my
I bought it.
nightmare at work. You're my nightmare at work.
I saw that.
Can I just dump
Yeah, we
this?
just got
I think so.
Holy shit,
Oh wait,
yeah.
yeah. You
I saw
can.
that when I was looking over your bank statement. I noticed.
Pretty easy.
What do you? Oh, my soup! My soup!
No, no.
My soup!
Oh, my soup! Oh, my soup!
I didn't know
They're doing the same thing as we did. I feel like everyone has to.
It's a go-to.
We're not strapped for space.
I want like that single person to just.
I
be there
understand.
and
We almost lost yesterday because they couldn't sit at the table that was missing a chair.
let them wait. Let this single.
I like how the one guy's name is
I
just
like
Soy
that they
Boy.
have the waiter.
On my staff.
Yeah.
Oh, they have 2 waiters and 2 chefs or whatever.
I feel like it's a good way to like visually separate people in it.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah, especially if you have 4 people. Then
It holds 4. It holds
Makes more
4.
sense.
It holds 4.
On rag.
Tomato on. You can put it on.
This sounds about right.
Take an order. Take an order. You're just
Man, we crushed it
Me, Kyle,
yesterday.
and Den were playing it. Yeah. Yeah, we did very well. When I was playing with Kyle and Den, one of the big issues we kept having is we were getting in each other's way. It's like trying to go through the doorway at the same time, stuff like that. Three stooging it, trying to get through the door. So that's a challenge you get just for having more people.
That's it. I feel like it'd definitely be way more fun with 4 people. It'd be way more chaotic and hard, but it'd be more fun.
Yeah.
Kill him. Kill him.
You keep going in the
Man, look at the size of that dining room. Oh yeah.
I'm jealous.
Oh, I want it.
Someone else do the upgrade.
And they have a counter.
Sorry, I meant Sophie.
I guess you always have a counter.
Not gonna do it.
Yeah. All right. I enjoyed
Nice.
that. Thank you, Greg. That was very accurate. Oh, John Green's on my fucking screen right now.
He's staring at me.
I watch the brothers vlogs. What can I say? Well, you want firepower there? You want fucking,
I don't want to fight. I don't want
You want to put up your fucking dukes over here? You want to fucking fight me? Oh. Brandon, do you have anything you want to plug?
Check out our YouTube. No, I don't really have anything to plug this time around.
I don't either.
Our social media stuff, check it out. We haven't. We got some stuff in the pipes, but nothing that we haven't posted anything new in a second. So
Yeah, we haven't posted anything in
check out the
a
YouTube.
while. But we have 2 big projects essentially underway.
Yeah, I'm excited. We should start piecing together the one for the end of May so that we can get it real nice.
Yeah, I want it to
and
be
then I can
ready to go by the beginning of May, so that we have plenty of time to take in critique.
I love that because also I'm down to continue to add whatever you need to it because I know editing is a task.
Editing is a vampire.
Is that are you singing the Whale Wars theme song?
Yeah.
Whale Wars theme song by Smashing Pumpkins?
Despite all my rage, I'm still just an editor in a cage.
Do you have anything to plug, Ian?
No, I don't have shit in my life.
Wow, I look so purple compared to you.
You do. I don't know how that works out.
You're like, maybe I'm just like, maybe it's because I'm blushing. Teehee.
I look like what's her name, Violet Veruca Salt or whatever, who turns into the blueberry or some shit like that. Like I feel like I'm turning into a blueberry, and you look like you just got deep fried into a blueberry.
I am. I am. Somebody chopped a blueberry in half and threw it into a half-cooked pie. Thanks everybody for watching the show. We had Bell Bell Rocket, we had Guazdoink, we had Lotus Clock, we had
Business
Crazy
Father.
Kyle, Business Father,
Crazy Cow.
Guy
Guy painting.
We had that one person that tried to help us increase our numbers on Twitch, but Kyle banned them.
Oh, did Kyle do that? I didn't even notice. That was quick.
Kyle's on it,
Wow, thank you, Kyle, doing the mod duties. Hell yeah.
Yeah, your first paycheck will arrive anytime.
That's right.
Keep an eye out for it.
I think that's everybody. I think that's everyone.
Yeah. Thanks everybody for hanging out.
Yeah, thanks for hanging out with us while we say nothing of value, while we do. Oh boy,
Kyle's getting one more in. No, he got. He's spammed.
We're gonna fix up the TTS, and eventually it'll cost money, but we will fix the TTS before we make it cost money.
Yeah. That one wasn't spam. It was just more than 30 seconds.
I
Which you could argue is a form of spam.
I think he quoted the new Alex Garland movie Civil War, because I see the words in there.
I think that's what that's from, right?
Yeah, that's got to be it.
From that movie.
Yeah, it's got to be from the new movie that just came out.
Yeah, that's probably what it is.
Okay, bye everybody.
Bye.
I don't fucking know.
Bye. Sorry we wasted your time.